Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the half-hour time frame. And my cursor is on where spot price action ended up when CME futures closed on Friday. And that is about 84,200. So if you think we're going up from here, we need to be there or below in order not to form a gap when CME futures on Sunday. CME futures opens on Sunday. Now, if you think we're going down, we got to be there or above. So anyway, 84.2 is the magic number. Now, I'm going to show you in this video that what we're doing right now is what Bitcoin has done a gajillion times. At least 100, maybe a handful of times this bull run, and what it's done in previous bull runs. And so let me switch to the daily time frame for that. Please excuse all those horizontal dashed lines. Those are my alert lines, and unfortunately, I'd have to turn them all on and off in order to get rid of them. And they're there even when I switch charts, so whatever. We're going to be looking at this red parallel channel here. Now, above that, we have the white parallel channel, which is the most important channel in Bitcoin history, which I've talked about many, many times. But this red channel is pretty freaking important, especially in this bull cycle right now. But well, first of all, I want to show you that this is where we started our bull cycle. This is the FTX collapse right here, or right here, I guess you could say. Around 15,600, I think it was, 500, whatever. At the base of our red parallel channel. Did I call it a triangle before? I don't know. Anyway, once we started holding this channel as support, our bull cycle began. Now, except for recent times, the red channel hasn't really interacted with price action much at all. You can see here in June, right? Yeah, June. When a lot of people thought was the bottom, we did come down to the top of this parallel channel. Now, and it acted as support for a while, actually, until September. It's pretty nice. The only other time, aside from recent times, that we interacted with this channel, let's just go back and see. Nope, been above it the whole time, except for back here in 2013 and prior. We were interacting with it during the, I guess you could say, bear market after this 2011 top. After Bitcoin's initial rally up, we came down through that channel. But you can see that the channel acted as support. The center line of the channel acted as support here. Top of the channel acted as resistance. We did come below it. But you can see that clearly this channel did play a role in Bitcoin's very distant past. And after here, even before starting this bull run here, we came right down to the top of the channel. It's pretty funny. So, but now never interacted with it again until 2023, the end of 2022. Since then, Bitcoin price action has been traveling this channel has acted as support and resistance the whole time, with price action pretty much within the channel. As you can see, we fell out of it here. This was in August of 2023. Everything's always in August 2023. And when did we come out of it? October. We always come out. Always dump in August, always pump in October. But where did we fall to? When we did fall out of the red channel, we fell down to this line here. See, we wicked through it a little bit there. And also this white line clearly acted as kind of a support and resistance that we kind of snaked around there. And then what did we do? So let's just analyze what we're doing with this red channel. Actually, all the way back here since June of 2022, the top of the channel acted as support. And then we entered the channel here in, what? Damn it, I'll be damned, August. August traveled sideways and fell down. And then we hit the bottom of the channel. We came up, held the center line of the channel as support for a little while, fell down to the bottom of the channel. Came all the way back up to just about the top of the channel. And then came down again, not quite to the bottom, I guess, since we didn't go all the way to the top. And we wouldn't go all the way to the bottom necessarily. Came up to the center line of the channel again, tried to hold that for support. And then we fell all the way out the bottom and to there. Then what did we do? Again in October, like I said before, we came up, held the center line as support and resistance, what have you. Kind of danced around it there. Came almost all the way down to the bottom of the channel again, but not quite. And then we rallied here in January of 2024. Yeah. Rallied all the way up to the top of the red channel, through the top of the red channel, and into our first interaction with our most famous, most important channel in Bitcoin history. And so this is when we're waking up to think that, hey, this might be the start of the parabolic bull rally. That's what I thought. I thought maybe we'll spend a little bit of time in here and then start our parabolic bull rally right there. But no, we didn't have that. Again, what did we do? We came back down to the bottom of the red channel. Came back up to the center line and fell down to where? When we came out the bottom of the red channel, to exactly this pink line, or whatever color it is. Came back up, fell back down to the pink line. Here this white line acted as support, you can see. Came back up into the red channel and kind of danced around. Came down to the white line as support once again. Then came back up into the red channel. This is now November of 2024. Oh, and when did we fall down here? Yep, August. August once again. We rallied in September, came up, but came back down into the CPI data. And we always pump on CPI data in October. So we started our rally then here. And then, boom, election results were in. And took way off of here. But we went up crazily high. Up through almost to the top of our red channel, but not quite. And held the center line of the red channel as support. Oh, there's a lot of lines in here. But we did hold that as support for quite a while. And then we... now the first sign that something was going wrong was, and I've said this many times on the channel, back here... No, it's not that far back, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. We have this red trend line. And the red trend line, okay, now we have two trend lines here, a white or yellow one and a red one. And the white one is drawn on the wicks from this bottom on October 10th, CPI data release. And connecting all the other lowest points. What was it? November 4th, I think. What is this date? Yeah, November 4th. So it's connecting those two wicks on the daily time frame. Now the red line is connecting the red candle bodies, the bottoms of the red candle bodies, which I determined is what we were when we fell through here, through the yellow or white line, whatever color that is. When we fell through there, I'm like, wait a second, because we fell through and then we continued to rally. I'm like, this isn't right. We're not losing support here. And that's when I discovered that reddish colored line. Because what did we do? We held the candle body. Although we fell all the way down here on January 9th, we came back up and closed on that candle body. Here, we fell all the way down here on January 13th, but came all the way back at the end of the day to come all the way up here and close the candle body above the red line. And so that was our new rule going forward. Here, once again, came all the way down with this long wick, but closed actually above the white line or yellow line, whatever, and but above the red line as well. Wick down here, closed candle body above the red line, and so forth, till January 31st. Came down, came back up, and we failed to close the candle body above that red line. And I told everybody over and over and over, when we fail to do that, that's a sign of something else going on. And look what happened. Immediately after, we dumped. But not as much as we did recently. So that was the first signal that we should have realized something was going on here. Then we fell out of the white channel, the most important channel in Bitcoin history, which we had pretty much been consolidating sideways in since the election, since November. Been chopping up and down through that channel right here. And what happens, this is the channel that we consolidate in. We have some sort of interaction with this channel every bull cycle. And then when we break out here, that's when the parabolic bull rally starts. So then after we broke the red channel, we did fall out of here, which would have been okay because we did a little bit here, a little bit there. I mean, we did a little bit here. But then it acted as resistance. And, and you know what happened here. But what did we do? We did the same thing we've always done. We came back down to the bottom of the red channel. Give me my cursor. Came back down to the bottom of the red channel right here. And we dumped down even further to the white line. Now, what happens next? We all want to know. I think still a possibility we could come down to this pinkish colored line, down to around 76,000. A little below, into the 75s a little bit. If we went below that, might be a little bit concerning. I think we'd probably be okay as long as we closed above it, because originally, I don't know, who knows. But anyway, I think that I highly doubt this is the end of any cycle, and that I do believe we're going to continue rallying up at least until around the end of the year sometime, maybe into November. Now, and all this does, this is just the game between the bulls and the bears. We get overextended, and you got to admit, we were way overextended here. We had this huge jump up here that we did. And all we're doing now is coming back down and filling in some of that space right there. And I'm sure if you've looked on the, let's go to a weekly time frame. I guess I can pause. And you pull up the volume, visual range volume profile, or whatever kind of volume profile you want to look at. And this here is the last cycle highs, the two peaks here. So I've gone all the way back to there. And you can see we got a lot of solid stuff in there. And we have this space where after the election, we just shot right up. We did a lot of filling in here, but we could do some more in this area right here. Now that seems to be a little bit more exaggerated than it is. And where does that, see, that goes all the way down to 72.7. I don't think we're going to go down that far. I think we could leave a little bit of open area in there. And who knows, maybe that gets filled in the next bear market. Maybe this is our bottom. The next bear market, we fill this in here. Currently, this is where we're at, and it wouldn't hurt to put in a little bit of price action in here. And I think that possibly we could do that over the course of the next couple weeks. Of course, we could just shoot right back up to the top of the red channel, but I think the market's going to want to wait for the CPI data on March 12th. March 12th, CPI data comes out, and I think it's not till the very end of the month that the FOMC meeting is. 28th, I think, something like that. I'll look it up here later. Now, we're on a weekly time frame, by the way. Now, I do want to show you something from last cycle. So now we're looking at last cycle from our peak in the end of 2017 up until our first peak in March of 2021 or April, whatever. And you can see from as we shot up here on the visual range or in price action, we did leave some holes in here on the visual range volume profile. And actually, if I do that, there we go. Well, you know what? I got it. No, I guess I had it right. There we go. Because I'm cutting out that middle part between the two peaks now. So you can see as we did shoot up here, well, we did leave quite a bit of space here between 20, 21,000 right there, and a little bit of space there at 25,000. And that didn't get filled in until the bear market. Actually, even when we had that dump in the middle, we didn't come in and fill that space right there. We left that space open. We couldn't even dump all the way down there before pumping back up again. And it wasn't until the bear market that we started filling that space in. And right there, see? And even then, you can see that we still did leave a bit of a space right there comparatively between 24 and 25 and a half. I mean, that one's not as big as the rest. So maybe no, it didn't fill in later because then we started moving up here. So there you have that. So that's something to consider too. Although we have a space here, we don't necessarily need to fill the whole thing in. But you know what? No, I don't know what, so I'm not going to say. But anyway, this is what we have here. But it doesn't hurt to put a little bit, fill it in a little bit there. But even so, we could leave this around 70. Well, see, this does, though, give us reason to come back down to 77, 78. A little bit, I would say. But who knows? I don't think we need to come below here. You do see that we have this area here. So it would make sense. Where's 75? We could come down to 75 even. Put a little bit more on that little candle thing. Maybe a little bit more on 77 and 78. But we don't really necessarily need to, is what I'm saying. Because from previous, what I just showed you in the past, we didn't even do that. So now, so here we are on the looking at a weekly time frame, and we are down here about 86,000. Now, could we come up and close the week in the next day, or less than a day, up at about 90,000? That might be a good sign, but I don't think we necessarily need to do that. We could, of course. We do have that inverse head and shoulders that I'm sure you all know about by now, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But we could come all the way back up there, close tomorrow, and dump on Monday. Or continue pumping. Who knows? Let's look in the past and see what we did when we came all the way down to the bottom of the range. And I'm going to put this on pause and look myself. Well, here when we wick down here on the 6th, week of the 6th of March, I forget what that was too, but March 2023, I don't know, something. But yeah, we did come all the way back up, big time. So, but then here, I'm not really sure what we did. Came down below here, and then we closed the week. I guess kind of. But we didn't even come up to this candle above here. Kind of, I don't know. Then we went sideways more. Came out of the channel even more just by going sideways and slightly down. But I don't know really what we did there. When's another time we came down here in this area? Well, here we came all the way down there, and we did close way back up. But then we came down again a few weeks later and failed to close anywhere near any previous candles. Let's go back a little more. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We just closed in the middle of this area after, yeah, coming down to these wicks here. So that's another thing you can do too. You can kind of line up some support areas, or which was previous resistance right there, and see where it hits our lines out here for an idea of when we might be going there. Huh. But anyway, we didn't necessarily close the week, I'd say, at any point that was significant. And then we continued to rally the next week. After, did we come down at all? Not really. Didn't really wick down at all there. So that's something to keep in mind. And now we're here. 85.9. So I'm having a tough time figuring out what we're going to do. We got the weekly RSI right around the 50% level, just under. And have we been under before? Oh, yeah, we have. Way back here. So that doesn't give us any clues necessarily. And you have the stochastic just about down to the 20. It looks, these are looking like they're, ready to bounce back the other way, head the other direction. But could they stay down here a little bit? Sure. And the stochastic RSI is really way, way down. I think it's down very, very low. I think it's lower than it has ever been in my lifetime. Pretty much. Way, way down. Except for maybe back here. What's this? Oh, it's a long time ago. September 2019. I don't know. Anyway, it's a long time ago. Now here in this little section right here, we have the BBWP, and you know what? Let me push this up like that. There we go. I think those other things will go away now. The BBWP on the weekly time frame still has not expanded yet. It's down at 4.76 at extremely low volatility. On the weekly, now if we go to the 5-day, that has expanded. And upon expansion, like if you go right here, it's kind of confusing because it just barely expanded right there. And the stochastic oscillator was pointing down. And then as it expanded, it turned back up. And now it's kind of going sideways. Looks like it's pointed upwards a little bit right here. No, it's pointed downwards a little bit. That's on the 5-day. So we have expansion, but is it going down? Is it going up? Well, we did have a big dump down. But I remember at a time in the past that it did something like this, and I don't know when it was, but we had a big dump down, and then we had a big dump right back up. Let's put this on there and see if we can scroll back and see when that was. Maybe it was just around July. That might even have been. Because it kind of did the same thing. Started expanding and it went down. We dumped and then we pumped right back up, you see. So that's something to keep in mind. This we had already dumped before it expanded. We pumped upwards. This was a huge pump upwards. I think that might have been it in July 2024, where we did have that downwards move like we just did, but then we came right back up because the stochastic was doing the same kind of thingy there. So back on the 30-minute time frame in current price action here, you can see that we do have this inverse head and shoulders, very obvious here. And maybe too obvious, huh? But I've drawn the price, the measurement of the price target there. Now, as you can see, came up here, tried to get through this neckline here, and having a little bit of trouble coming back down, but we're hanging out in this area. We've been hanging out here for several hours now, trying to make it work. But volume, you can see down below here, is decreasing. People are kind of losing interest in it. It's not a sign of strength there, and I think everybody knows, because if we're to pump from here up to something like a 95.6, really? Is that it? I thought someone was saying earlier like 97. Well, yeah, that would take us back up here in this region. If we were to do that, we're going to have a gap. We're going to have a CME futures gap. Now, can we just consolidate here until... Well, I guess we could. Maybe we will. Maybe we will continue to consolidate all the way to about there in this area until CME futures. But remember, we have to come down to like 84.2. Huh. Oddly enough, that is on this line right here. Oh, I got to move over a little bit. Well, yeah, it is. It's right here in the vicinity of this line. I'm really squeezed together. Yeah, it's right about exactly on that line. What is that line? That line is... a mystery. That line is a freaking mystery. No, what I think that is the... I don't know. I hardly even have any lines on this chart, and I don't know what that is. Well, we're going to have to figure that out, because we did come down to it right here. Came through it. And could we come down to it again here? And then back up. Good question. Good question all. Because we may be done. We may be done. This white we came down to the white line. That's all we need to do. Or could we come down more? You got to be ready for anything, either occurrence. And nobody knows right now. And I don't even think the people that are laying out the whatever, the people making the plans don't even know, because I think it probably depends on factors we don't yet have. And which way would be the best for them to go when this time occurs. As far as people with too much leverage on either side or what have you. So I'm going to pause and find out what this line is. All right, I see now what that line is. If I click on it, you can see that it, well, I guess you can't see. But I just simply connected this bottom and this bottom, and we came back down to it here. So yeah, I think this is where we might end up at close on Sunday, but that doesn't tell us which way we're going to go from there. I mean, at CME futures open, we're going to close around at 84.2, or we'll be around 84.2 at around 2200 hours. That will solve the gap situation, but I don't know which way we're going to go from there. Could come down. Worst case scenario, I think we would come all the way back down to 76. Just maybe a hair under 76. Could come down there. So you want to be ready to buy, providing we don't go lower. Or we could come here and bounce higher. Wow, it looks like I'm running out of juice. So I guess I better shut up now. Yeah. I wonder if my screen went dim for all of you guys because I'm down to 5% and I just went dim and I better stop. What else do I need to say? Oh, I wanted to point out here on Market Watch that here we don't got a lot of stuff going on next week. I'll let you look at Market Watch yourself. Not a lot of stuff going on Monday or Tuesday, but we do have stuff at the end of the week. ADP employment on Wednesday. Jobless we have that every week, but we have the monthly jobs report, U.S. jobs report on Friday. Also, we have Trump doing a lot of crypto meetings on Friday, some sort of big meeting with all the big heads. And yeah, I got to stop recording or this is not going to save. So who knows? We'll figure it out. But I don't think we're going down to hell. I think we're going to turn around momentarily, but I don't know if we're going to go down to 76 or just continue up from here. So, see you next time.